Hi, Brendan Fogarty from Dr. Energy Saver by Eco Energy Solutions. Welcome to this beautiful old historic home in Stockbridge, Massachusetts. So one of the biggest things that we're trying to accomplish on this home is in the wintertime, this home, just like many other homes in this area or anywhere in New England, they have a large problem with ice damming. This part of the house was built in 1776. This was the original post and beam. As you can see, as you go through, the middle of the home was built in the 1800s. And then behind this big tree in the back is the main house. Most of this house is built with a dirt crawl space underneath it, except for the main part of the house. So let's go inside and we're going to talk about some of the problems that the homeowners are having in the house. Okay, so this is a dirt crawl space. So this is the beginning of them. When we're outside looking at the size of this house, this is the beginning of this, where all this dirt picks up all the outside allergens and picks up all the, it's really nasty, and we breathe this every day. So we really want to protect this. As you can see, these old stone walls, they were masoned, but there's a lot of different treatments that we can do for this. As you can see, what they did up here over years is they just installed some foam board on this floor. As you see, this is the floor joists of the 1776 home. And just by doing this, you can see all these cobwebs and stuff. It doesn't really stop a lot of the outside air from coming in. So this furnace, we want all this heat that radiates off these steam pipes to go up into the floors to make these floors warmer. Some of the problems that these homeowners are having in this is that their floors are really cold in the wintertime. So the middle of this house is all dirt crawl space from one side to the other. So as you can see, what we have is we have all this this really short crawl space. This is where in the wintertime it's super cold, because all that cold ground, the frost line, freezes, and it just allows all that cold air to conduct in here and make these floors super cold. We have a solution at Dr. Energy Saver, but our solutions takes time to do it correctly. We're not just going to come in here and just throw a bunch of plastic on here. We have to understand the building science of this problem, and we have to fix it based on the building science problems. This is a solution to do this, and we do it right the first time. But this is our clean space encapsulation system. Anytime that you have dirt floor crawl spaces, this is what's called a dimple mat. So we have to put this dimple mat in there. It has little cups in it that allows the water to evaporate naturally. And then we use an insulation board that goes over the top of that. You can see that the way that this house was built, that they added on some rafters, some wood to extend out the lower part of the living space. What we have to do is take care of that. If we leave that exposed, this is where a lot of the warm air that rises up melts, causes ice dams to our house. So this treatment is very, very, very critical. So what Joshua and John are doing right now, as you can see that the dormers that are above this porch, we call this a unconditioned space below a conditioned space. So that the air sealing and insulating that wall to keep those floors warmer is critical to doing that. So we have to actually access that triangle to get in there so we can protect those dormers that go up. It'll stop the cold floors. The ice damming is so extensive in this home. As you can see, you've got all this cold air all this is conducting through this porch, and then you have all the warm air that's conducting through the dormers, and that's causing a huge amount of snow melt. And then these coils down below, right, we're paying to thaw our ice out, but we also pay, so we're wasting energy in two ways. We're wasting energy by melting the snow above 32 degrees, and then as the coils heat up, we're melting that 32 degrees, we're getting it above 32 degrees at the bottom. So it's the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again. This was built in the 1900s. I have in turn had significant amount of work done up in here. As you see, they put in a bunch of fiberglass insulation, and down in the floors, down in here, this is the original insulation that was blown in over the years. As you can see, it's all dirty and from wind washing and stuff. But what happens is down here in these little corners, the extension of the roof goes all the way down to the other roof, right? So you have a tremendous amount of heat loss that's coming up through here and conducting right through this fiberglass insulation, and effectively making this really useless. So what we're going to do is our super addict treatment up here, and you're going to get some more information as we go. but this doesn't stop the heat from leaving. We have to make sure that we protect the convective air from leaving the house, so it doesn't melt the roof. We have to protect the conduction, which is heat moving through solid surface through the roof, and we have to protect the radiant heat from cooking this house. So in the summertime, and right now it's September, in the summertime it's about 130, maybe 140 degrees up here. So you can just imagine how much heat is cooking the rest of this house just by this treatment. So Dr. Energy Saver focuses on making these attics, these walk-up attics, conditioned. So that way they're good for a number of different things. They're good to protect all your personal belongings for years. They're good because they keep all the heat in, and they also stop all the heat from conducting, the radiant heat from conducting in from the sun in the summertime. Perfect treatment for this house, as long as we make sure that we dense pack down these slopes with the cellulose. Now we're going to go over to another part of the home, which we've already worked on, to show you what it looks like after we see this process happen. Okay, so now we're over in the 1776 super attic. This was an unconditioned space, and the other companies, somebody came in and they blew cellulose all over this beautiful 14-inch planks. They used this years and years ago for storage or for everything. Akil is on the other side he's in front of David, making sure that David's got the blocking area open so he can move with purpose and come right through. This is kind of neat over here, because over here, if you look at this is way out in the woods. This is in Stockbridge, Massachusetts. And we have bats living here, right? So the bats living here, people want the bats to live here because it gets rid of the mosquitoes, right? So it's really important. Once David gets done with this super attic up here, he's gonna put a cover over this, so that way, the bats can still live here, but we're not gonna lose any of this now that it's a conditioned space. So this is that roof line that goes from the 1776 house all the way over to the 1800s house. Now we came in here, and Dr. Energy Saver provides the measuring cards to really, we climbed in here, we air sealed every penetration, and we blew down each side of it to really do it. So now over here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna extend the super attic, which David's working on right now, over in this hole. He's gonna bring this right around here. We still a lot of work left to do on this house, but we're just gonna take one section at a time, move with purpose, and do it right. We're gonna do everything in our power as long as it takes to make sure that this home is fixed the first time.